What if, right now, an invisible shield rose up around your life? One that no sickness, no attack, no curse could ever break through. What if you could walk into the most dangerous places of this world and remain untouched, not because of luck, but because the God of heaven himself commanded his angels to guard you? This is not a fantasy. It is the living promise of Psalm 91, a covenant written in God's own words for those who choose to dwell in his presence. Today, we are not here for a shallow reading of the Bible. We are stepping into a moment where every word of Psalm 91 will be breathed into your spirit until it takes root so deeply that fear will have no place left to hide. This is not a ritual. It is not a superstition. It is a meeting with the Almighty, and once you enter, you will not leave the same doubt. I want you to understand something that most people miss. Psalm 91 is not a blanket promise for anyone who casually believes in God. It is a covenant for those who live under his shadow, those who abide, remain, and stay close to him in every season, in every battle, in every midnight hour. And when you live there, his words become your defense, his presence your fortress, his promises your guarantee. As you hear this prayer, I am asking you not to just listen, but to open your heart, to picture the scenes this psalm paints, and to step into them as if they are happening over your life right now. Hear the rustle of angel wings as they take their positions around you. Feel the weight of God's hand resting on your shoulder. Sense the atmosphere shift as his voice speaks over you. No harm will overtake you. This is your moment to trade anxiety for assurance, uncertainty for unshakable confidence. The world outside may be filled with threats, dangers, and storms, but the place we are about to enter is unshakable. Here, no arrow finds its target, no plague crosses the threshold, no enemy's plan succeeds. This is not my promise. It is the word of the Lord, sealed for eternity. So take a deep breath. Shut out every distraction. Fix your attention not on my voice, but on the one who inspired every line of this psalm. As we step into the first promise, do not hold back. Lean in with all your faith, because the shield is about to be raised, and his presence will cover you completely. The first words of Psalm 91 are not just poetic lines. They are an invitation into a place very few people ever enter. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This is more than comfort. It is the description of a location in the Spirit where storms cannot reach you. It is the home address of peace, the coordinates of divine safety. To dwell means to stay, not visit. It means to choose God's presence as your permanent place of living, not a temporary escape when life gets hard. This is why so many people quote the song, but never taste its power, because they are visitors, not residents. But the ones who dwell remain under the covering of the Almighty at all times, day and night, in joy and in grief, in victory and in warfare. And in that shelter, something supernatural happens. Rest takes the place of worry. The shadow of the Almighty is not darkness. It is protection from the scorching heat of life's battles. It is the cooling shade of his authority. You cannot be burned while standing under it. As we pray through this first section, I want you to imagine stepping under that shadow. Picture yourself walking into a fortress where no enemy has access, where no accusation can penetrate, where the air itself feels charged with God's presence. In this place, your breathing slows, your heartbeat steadies, and your thoughts clear. Here, you can hear his voice more clearly than the noise of the world. Pray these words with me and mean them with your whole being. Lord, I choose to dwell in your shelter. I choose to make my permanent home under your covering. Let your shadow be my refuge and my resting place. Teach me to stay near you at all times. I declare that you are my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. As you speak these words, you are not just reciting a verse. You are moving into a different spiritual location. You are making a declaration that changes your address in the spirit. The enemy may know where you live in the natural, but in the spirit, you are now hidden with Christ in God, unreachable, untouchable, unshakable. The next words of Psalm 91 pull back the curtain on a reality most people ignore. Surely he will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. This is God promising to shield you not only from what you can see, but from the traps and dangers you cannot. Some attacks announce themselves. Others are silent, invisible, waiting in the shadows. But none of them escape his sight. The fowler's snare is a trap designed for one purpose: to catch the unaware. It is not obvious. It is hidden in plain sight, carefully set to blend in with your surroundings. Spiritually, these snares are lies, temptations, manipulations, and hidden schemes of the enemy that you don't recognize until you're already entangled. Yet here is God saying that his hand will pull you out before they close around you. And then there is the deadly pestilence. This speaks not only of disease and plague, but of every destructive force that spreads quietly and tries to overtake your life. Fear can be a pestilence. Depression can be a pestilence. Division in a family can be a pestilence. But the promise stands. He will save you. This is not a vague hope. It is a guaranteed action from the Almighty. When you live in his presence, you are not just protected from what you expect. You are guarded against what you could never anticipate. God's protection covers the full spectrum, from sudden accidents to long-hidden plots, from physical threats to spiritual attacks. His awareness is infinite. Nothing catches him off guard. As we pray through this part, I want you to surrender the fear of the unknown. Release the tension that comes from wondering what's waiting around the corner. Pray these words from a place of complete trust. Lord, I thank you because you see what I cannot. You guard me from traps I do not even notice. You keep me safe from dangers that others fall into. You save me from every form of pestilence, every destructive force, every silent attack of the enemy. My safety is not in my ability to avoid trouble, but in your power to deliver me from it. Right now, picture the invisible hand of God sweeping the path ahead of you, removing every snare, closing every pit, and breaking every chain the enemy set for you. See yourself walking forward freely, unharmed, because his promise is surrounding you on every side. Psalm 9:1 now moves into a declaration that dismantles the power of fear. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. This is God telling you that it is possible to live with a steady heart, even when the world is filled with threats. Fear is a prison that steals your peace before danger even arrives. It whispers worst-case scenarios, plays endless loops of what could go wrong, and keeps you bracing for impact that may never come. But the presence of God breaks that cycle. Notice that this promise doesn't say there will be no terrors, no arrows, no pestilence, or no plagues. It says you will not fear them. The difference is crucial. God is not promising a life without challenges. He is promising a heart that cannot be shaken by them. The terror of night represents the threats you cannot see coming, the things that hide in the darkness of uncertainty. The arrow by day represents sudden, targeted attacks that catch you off guard. The pestilence in darkness speaks of slow, hidden dangers that grow unnoticed. And the plague at midday is the open, visible crisis that no one can deny. In all of these situations, God is saying you can remain unafraid because his covering is stronger than any threat. Fear loses its power when you know you are not alone. The Almighty is not a distant observer. He is right there, covering you with his wings, standing between you and the danger, intercepting what was meant to harm you. When you understand this, your posture changes. You walk into the unknown with confidence. You face storms without flinching. You look at danger and declare, "My God is greater." Lord, I refuse to live in fear. I reject the terror of night, the arrows of day, the hidden pestilence, and the open plague. They may come, but they will not rule my heart. My trust is in you alone. I walk in peace because I walk with the Almighty. Let courage rise in me like a shield that nothing can pierce. See yourself stepping into situations that once made you anxious, but now your spirit is steady, your heart unshaken. Feel the weight of fear lift off you as God's presence surrounds you. You are not defenseless. You are not exposed. You are under divine protection that does not fail. The words now rise to a level of promise that defies human logic. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. This is not poetic exaggeration. It is the declaration of a supernatural shield that separates you from the fate of those who stand outside the covering of God. Picture a battlefield where chaos erupts all around you. On one side, destruction strikes. On the other, danger sweeps through. Yet, in the middle of it all, there you stand untouched. Not because you are stronger, faster, or luckier, but because the shield of the Almighty is absorbing every impact, diverting every blow, and refusing every threat permission to reach you. God's protection is not dependent on the statistics of the world. It is not influenced by percentages, probabilities, or trends. When he says, "It will not come near you," he means that even if the odds are stacked against you in the natural, the outcome will be different for you because of his covenant over your life. This is why faith matters. It allows you to stand in peace when logic says you should be in fear. The second part of this verse reminds us that there will be times when we witness the downfall of the wicked. This is not to stir pride, but to affirm that God is a righteous judge. Those who plot against the innocent, those who mock his name, those who trust in their own power, will eventually see their plans collapse. And while judgment falls, those who dwell in the shelter of the Most High remain secure. Lord, I receive your divine shield over my life. Let every danger pass me by. Let every weapon formed against me fail before it reaches me. I trust you when I see chaos around me. I trust you when the world shakes. You are my safety, my covering, my defender. I declare that what destroys others will not destroy me, for I am hidden in the Almighty. See yourself walking forward through a storm, hearing the wind howl and the ground shake, yet every step you take is steady. You are in the world, but the world's disasters cannot overtake you. This is the difference that living under God's shadow makes. It is a protection that is both invisible and undeniable. Psalm 91 now reaches its most personal promise. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because he loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. This is not a distant protection. It is an active, intimate involvement from God himself. Notice that he does not only promise to guard you in certain areas or during specific moments. He says, in all your ways. That means the public paths and the private ones, the predictable routines and the unexpected detours. His angels are not symbolic. They are real, they are sent, and they are on assignment for your life. The image is powerful. Angels carrying you so that even the smallest harm, a simple stone in your path, cannot trip you up. This is not just about avoiding. major disasters. It is about God's care over every detail. The lion and the cobra represent open and hidden dangers. One roars to intimidate, the other strikes in silence. God's promise is not that you will avoid them, but that you will tread on them, trample them, and overcome them without fear. Then, the voice shifts. It is no longer David speaking. It is the Lord himself declaring his personal covenant. Because he loves me, I will rescue him. Love is the qualifier here. This is not about religious routine, but about a deep relationship with him. To acknowledge his name is to live under his authority, to recognize his ownership over your life, and to call on him as your only source. The most striking part is that God does not just promise deliverance, he promises honor. He does not only remove you from trouble, he lifts you up in the sight of others. He satisfies you with long life, not just in years, but in fullness. And he ends with the ultimate gift. I will show him my salvation. This is the guarantee of both his presence now and eternity with him. Lord, I receive the command of your angels over my life. Guard me in all my ways. Lift me when I stumble. Give me strength to trample the lion and the serpent. I declare that my love for you is my shield and my victory. Be with me in every trouble. Deliver me, honor me, satisfy me with your life, and let me see your salvation. Now see yourself walking with absolute confidence, knowing that heaven is actively engaged in your protection. Feel the assurance that you are never alone, not in the daylight, not in the night, not in the deepest valley, nor in the highest mountain. The God who spoke these words is the God who keeps them, and his presence will follow you all the days of your life. Now it's time to move from listening to declaring. Words have power. What you speak shapes your reality. The promises of Psalm 91 are not just for hearing. They are for claiming, for speaking aloud with boldness and faith. This moment is your invitation to become an active participant in God's protection over your life. I want you to say these declarations with everything in you, not as empty repetition, but as firm statements of your trust and your identity in being. God, I dwell in the shelter of the Most High. I rest in the shadow of the Almighty. No harm will overtake me. No plague will come near my home. The Lord is my refuge and my fortress. Speak these words as if your life depends on them, because it does. Every time you declare God's truth, you are pushing back darkness. You are placing your feet on the ground of divine authority, telling fear it has no hold over you. This is spiritual warfare, wrapped in faith and confidence. Feel the power rising in your spirit. Know that angels are being dispatched right now to surround you and your loved ones. Imagine their wings covering you, their strength guarding your steps. See yourself protected from every attack, every trap, every sickness, and every fear. Repeat after me once more. Because I love the Lord. He rescues me. He protects me because I acknowledge his name. I call on him and he answers me. He is with me in trouble. He delivers me and honors me. I will live long and see his salvation. This is your moment to activate the promises. Do not wait for perfect conditions or feelings. Speak faith now and watch how your spiritual atmosphere changes. You are no longer vulnerable. You are armored, guarded, and deeply loved. As we come to the close of this time, receive this final blessing over your life. May the God of Psalm 91, the refuge of the Most High, surround you with his unbreakable protection. May his angels guard you in all your ways, lifting you up and keeping you safe from every harm. May your heart remain fearless, steady, and full of peace, no matter what challenges come your way. Let this prayer not be a one-time moment, but a daily declaration. Return to these promises whenever fear or doubt creeps in. Remind yourself that you are covered, sealed, and guarded by the Almighty. You are hidden in his shadow, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. If this prayer stirred something deep in your spirit, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Let the protection of God extend beyond you and into the lives of those you love. Subscribe and come back whenever you need a fresh reminder that God's shelter is real, His power is alive, and His love never fails. Walk in this truth every day. You are guarded, you are honored, you are loved, and your salvation is sure. The God who spoke these promises is faithful to fulfill them. His presence goes with you now and always.